Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Real Chat Daddy Show. That being said, we do want to say good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Monday night edition of the Real Chat Daddy Show. I am your host, Chat Daddy. So glad to be here with you guys on what is a very mild and mellow Monday here in the Chicagoland area. Last week, we had excessive heat and temperatures. But this week, it seems as if it's going to be a very mild week, which we're very happy about. As you guys all know, the first day of summer is actually this coming Monday. And hopefully we'll have, pleasant temperatures until we get into the first day of summer. But I'm very excited about the wonderful weather that we are experiencing. And I am happy that it is summer. Well, we have another great show planned for your viewing and listening pleasure this evening. In the box next to me is our longest running guest co-host, Grand Dame, the madam of the show, all of that, the amazing Miss Kay Renee of Karen's Nuggets of Knowledge. How are you, Kay Renee? Good to see you tonight, my dear. What's going on?
Good evening, Chat Daddy. How are you? You're right. It's a mellow Monday.
Yes.
Although it's supposed to be a mild this week, but summer is about to approach, and when summer comes, heat. So,
Oh, baby, we got a lot to talk about because with that
oh
heat
goodness,
comes crime, comes a whole lot of things, and so we'll talk about all of that in just a little bit. Well, June is Black Music Month, and on the heels of the Centennial of the Tulsa Race Massacre, tonight we welcome to the show two gentlemen, executive producers and music industry veterans, Mr. Fred Jones and Mr. Thornell Jones Jr., to share some really exciting news about 1921, the Black Wall Street Music Project. And this music project is a multi-generational, multi-genre compilation album from famous celebrities to just everyday people who are singing about the 1921 experience. And I'm so honored to welcome these gentlemen. I've watched everything. Rolling Stone did a wonderful piece on them. So we're very excited to welcome them to the show tonight. So Kay Renee, we are back. Yesterday was the 26-year anniversary of the original Real Deal Ultimate Relationship Chat, or as we call it now, the Real Deal Chats. And thank you so much to Teriyaki Madness, South Loop, Chicago. Just a fabulous restaurant. Beautiful venue yesterday, and thank you to everyone who came out. It was so good to finally see people. I made a joke yesterday to everybody who hugged me. I said, listen, I'm fully vaccinated and I want to feel breasts on my flesh. I needed to feel breasts on my flesh. And so thank you so much to everybody. Candace Lewis, she was there yesterday with her wonderful sister. We love you, Candace. You and your sister were just amazing. Thank you to actor and comedian Rome Anthony for warming up the crowd and being there as a wonderful support. Kay Renee, I cannot thank you enough. You were actually a guest, but you ended up helping out. Thank you to you and Ursula both for working the registration desk yesterday. And it was good. What did you think about everything?
Oh my goodness. It was also good to be. That's literally after Saturday's event that we attended with Auntie Gina. That's like my first formal event, period. And so it was nice to see everyone. Everyone was so happy. The women looked gorgeous. There were a few men there who were just really excited just to be a part of a conversation. And, again, kudos to Crystal Courtney and her husband and Teriyaki Madness. One of her servers was Miss Jada, and she was just so professional, so sweet. I just got to give Miss Jada a shout out. From the staff to the vendors to Mr. Rome and to you and Ursula, we just had a great time, and I'm looking forward to seeing in August.
Yes, absolutely. The next original Real Deal Relationship Chat will be in sometime in August. We'll keep you guys posted. We were just so great and so excited for the number of people that did come out yesterday. People said that they had cabin fever, they were fully vaccinated, and they wanted to come out and be with other people. And the space was perfect. I never felt claustrophobic. I felt the airflow was great, enough social distancing, but we had a great time. So thank you to everybody who came out yesterday. We really do appreciate you guys. Well, Kay Renee, I don't even know where to start. We usually start with the public health numbers, and I guess we'll start with that because then there's so much other shenanigans and foolery we need to talk about, and we are a health and wellness show. Illinois public health officials announced today under 300 new confirmed and probable cases of COVID-19, along with 11 additional deaths and more than 38,000 new COVID vaccine doses administered. So the state actually had 298 cases as of yesterday, and which is not bad, but this now brings the total number of cases in the state of Illinois to 1,387,595 cases since the beginning of this pandemic. And the total death total for the state of Illinois is now 23,061. And that's been since the beginning of the pandemic. And now another 2,420 deaths are currently listed as probable COVID-19 related fatalities. And that's kind of the debate that people were having at the beginning of this pandemic to begin with. Like, listen, how we know everybody dying from COVID? You know what I'm saying? Like, are they grouping all these people in the same box as COVID? And then wasn't it a governor that got in trouble for not reporting the number of COVID cases that had happened?
Sound like New York. He was in
Yeah,
trouble. Of course, they've downplayed that, but I'm sure Mr. Mario is going to be still have some questions. But let's not. I mean, just talking about that, we've reached a very grim milestone, totally nationwide. That we've
yes.
reached 600,000 fatalities. So
Hmm.
even though the numbers are low, people unfortunately are still succumbing to this virus. And
Right,
with this new Delta variant that's creeping up,
right.
people, we're still, as I told you, Ari, we talk about this all the time. I'm still very cautiously optimistic, and I will be wearing my mask, as you say on the show, to June, November 2025.
Absolutely, absolutely. Like yesterday, because it was an event, I was so busy. Basically, everybody who had RSVP'd, I pretty much knew who they were, knew their
Right,
health history. That's the one thing about people that come to my relationship chats. I know these people. I very seldom sell tickets to strangers. And if it is,
right.
it's somebody has brought this person, and I know that they're not bringing somebody that would put us all in jeopardy. And at the end of the event last night, I said, well, honey, if there's any type of outbreak at this event, I got everybody in here, phone number, email. So we did our own tracing that if anything went wrong, but God forbid. And we had a wonderful time last night. But yes, you have to be that careful now. You know what I'm saying?
Right, you do. And one thing I was glad that we took the special protocols ourselves, right?
Right.
That whenever people were speaking, you had the wipes. We
Yep.
just made sure we cleaned everything. So,
Yep. Yep.
I mean, kudos to you as well as Ursula, and even your vendors were fully aware. So,
Right.
we're living in different times, but you just have to be cautious and just think. A lot of people
Right.
just need to start thinking. That's all.
Very good. You're absolutely right. Well, congratulations to the city of Chicago. This past Friday, the city of Chicago was the first major city in the U.S. to fully reopen at 100% capacity. Huge thank you to the scientists and the frontline workers that actually got us to this major milestone, is what Mayor Lightfoot said in her statement, and that she is still encouraging people to please get vaccinated. And so, Chicago, we're trendsetters here. And so, again, kudos to us. I now understand that other cities will be opening up and, going to 100% and all of that. But I don't know. It was a lot of people out. Traffic was horrible yesterday. Traffic
Yes, it was.
going into downtown was a problem. I actually went to the venue earlier yesterday just to set up, take some equipment, things like that. And traffic was a little funny to me. And we're talking about at 11 a.m. on a Sunday morning when I was, for the past
Exactly.
years, we've been able to zip downtown in minutes yesterday. And then when I left, we were together riding in the vehicle
Mm-hmm.
on our way to the actual event, and we saw how traffic had gotten to be, a
Hmm.
problem. So, I guess we're back to normal rush hour and all of that great stuff.
That's something I don't miss, Art, at all.
Yeah, I know. I know. I couldn't agree more. Well, Mayor Lightfoot is trying to sweeten the pot, as they would say. It is being announced that starting this coming Friday, hundreds of $250 gift cards will be hidden around Chicago in all 77 neighborhoods. Each weekend through July 4th, Chicagoans and tourists can find gift cards scattered around the city. This is the newest initiative from Mayor Lightfoot aiming to encourage people to get back out to their local businesses this summer. So I was wondering how this was going to work because I don't need nobody tearing up nothing in my neighborhood, digging under no bushes, all in the windows, looking at all that kind of stuff. So I supposedly, if you go to a business or a location in one of the 77 neighborhoods, and if you walk in and say open Chicago, they will give you, if they have them there, one of the $250 gift cards that are around the city. So I guess
Hmm.
everywhere you go, right? Everywhere you go, I guess you're supposed to say open Chicago, but like who would you say it to?
Oh, I
Where?
know exactly where one near our house, Art, is a very local bank that's not that far from us. I think both of us need to go up there and say, "Open Chicago," see what happens.
You think so? Then look, then me and you might have to get in the hoopty, and we may just have to start walking around talking about open Chicago. You know what I'm
But I,
saying?
but I know the first place we could go to is not that far from us. So, and they just opened back up. How about that?
Ah, I got you. Okay, so you might have a little inside tip there. Okay, very good. All right, all right. So let's get to other news stories. Over the weekend, 4 people were killed and 47 were wounded. Right in the Auburn, no, in the Chatham neighborhood, not far from where Kay Renee and I both reside. On Saturday morning, we woke to the news where a young lady, 29 years old, was shot on one of our popular streets, 75th Street. 9 other people were shot and injured in the melee, I guess, that happened in the wee hours of the morning. And it was just ironic that Friday evening I was watching the news, and our good friend, Miss Stephanie Hart of Brown Sugar Bakery, was on doing her interview with the news. And she was saying that she was so happy that 75th Street was having this type of energy. And, if people could hang out on streets on the north side or downtown or in the Gold Coast area, why can't people hang out in their neighborhoods and enjoy it? And not 24 hours later, here she is back on the news giving pieces of cake out, talking about peace cake to bring peace to the community. And I know she had no control over that. That's not a petty statement I'm making, but what a difference a day makes. Not even 24 little hours, as the song would say. What do you think
Right.
about all this, Kay Renee?
Well, it's not just here in Chicago because unfortunately it just seems like we have these mass shootings, but all over the nation this past weekend, there was gun violence in 6 states, bringing the U.S. mass shootings to 272 this year so far. We had them in Ohio, in 2 cities, Cleveland and Cincinnati. We had mass
Mm-hmm.
shootings in Austin. We had mass shootings in Georgia, in
Mm-hmm.
Savannah, Georgia. We had
Right.
mass shootings in North Carolina, in Winston-Salem. Then you had mass shootings in Washington State and Seattle, where
Mm-hmm.
and I just don't know. I really feel this pandemic has really done some things to people's mental health. I
Mm-hmm.
really believe that because I've never seen this many mass shootings in my natural born life. And
Mm-hmm.
it's just
I
and
agree
it's
with you.
I don't know whether or not it's going to get better as the summer progresses, as it gets continues to get warmer, as cities and states are starting to open up. This is going to be an unfortunate, grim occurrence.
You're absolutely right. Kay Renee, as we all know, in my past life, being the entertainment, nightlife, and travel writer for the Chicago Defender. Every night I was out having a great time, eating, drinking, mingling with people. As my career continued to build, as a part of being a socialite, you must be out and connect with people. This year, this pandemic and not going anywhere, I have no problem with bringing my behind home at night. I have no issues. Once it starts getting dark, if I'm not already somewhere or invited to something that I know is in the evening and I'm preparing for it, and as you know, as well as most people, I'm not going any place by myself. It would be, somebody or with me, accompanying me. So I don't have that desire like that. So all of this stuff that's happening late at night, those are people that still want to hang out. They tend to be a little bit more younger, more rambunctious. But I don't know, because it's sad. Nightclub shootings and just the poor lady and the baby that got shot in Florida at the grocery store. It's too much.
And speaking of nightclub shootings, Art, it's a great, unfortunate, sad lead in to today marks the fifth anniversary of the Pulse nightclub shooting in Orlando, which 49 people got killed. So, like when you're younger, you want to just exude all this energy. As I've gotten older, and like you, being in this pandemic, I can retreat right in my sanctuary, right here in this house. When when you're growing up, going outside with your kid or your friends, your mama say, "Come on." My mom was like, "You better be in when the street lights come on." So I follow that same philosophy. Street lights
Me
come on,
too.
my butt is in the house. Okay.
Me too. Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. My mother, God rest her soul, God rest both of our beloved mother's soul. But look, if you were out past them street lights and my mama had to come outside in that moo and call your name down the street, it was worse than you not coming in on time. You get what I'm
That's
saying?
right. Oh,
So
I know.
look, you are bringing back crazy fond memories of my mama
uh,
coming out in that moo talking about bring your behind in this house.
And if you
So
did, she said, "Okay, why don't you get that little branch off the tree?"
right.
And I'm like, why would you want to do that?
Right,
You
that's
find
your
out
switch.
with the
That's
five
your switch. Right,
that's your
that's your switch. That is your switch. That
that's
is your switch that
right.
you get ready to beat your own self with, or she
That's
gonna
it.
beat you with that switch.
That's
Absolutely. So
right.
I don't know, just a mess. Well, we also found out over the weekend, K. Renee, that a Chicago police officer was charged with breaching the U.S. Capitol back in January, the insurrection. Officer Carol Chawaski, I guess it is, Washki,
That
was
sound
arrested on Friday and will appear in federal court. And so here's the deal. What did I say on this show before that insurrection? Well, after the insurrection, I did not say to you, I said there were several flight attendants I know that worked flights into DC 3 days before that insurrection happened, and the flight attendants all overheard conversations. They thought that the people were really hostile. Just people were doing a lot of different things on those flights 3 days before that insurrection. He's not going to be the only police officer charged in this. Quite a few military members have been caught up in this. So, what do you think about this?
well. Here's the thing: how he got caught. The I won't say the word dumb, but you gotta wonder when they found him, they spotted him. He had on a Chicago Police Department skull cap on, and that's how they recognized him when looking at all the many thousand hours of tape during that unfortunate day. So I saw interviews with Superintendent Brown and of course Mayor Lightfoot. They are just pissed. They are upset, and they're gonna throw the book at Carol with a K. That's not how
Yes,
he spells his name. So
yes, yes.
just
It's a hot
shake my
mess.
head. A
Absolutely.
hot mess.
And the sad part is, again, most of those people got the capital, their influence, using the fact that we're a part of the fraternal order of, whatever the case may be. And
Mm-hmm.
that's how they, strong arm their fellow, brothers and sisters in blue. So, we just wish them the best. We absolutely do. All right, darling, what do you have in the news?
Well, speaking of flight attendants, I wonder if this flight attendant was one that knew, unfortunately, about the incident, because this flight attendant, uh, had a plane diverted from California to from Atlanta to supposed to go to California, but they had to divert it to Oklahoma. Delta Flight Airlines flight number 1730 was diverted to Oklahoma on Friday night after a passenger, hence off-duty flight attendant, became unruly and had to be subdued. This gentleman, 34-year-old Stefan Jamar Duncan, started making threats. He was making the announcement over the PA saying, tell the passenger to take their seats and put their oxygen mask. It got so the pilot had to make an announcement, said, hey, we need some strong males here to subdue this person. And I saw the video. You heard him screaming, hollering. And I said, oh my God. So when the law enforcement, when they finally landed in Oklahoma, law enforcement officers got him, brought him to the hospital. He was complaining of chest pains, and apparently he has some mental issues. But they gonna throw the book at this boy. I feel for him.
Oh,
I really
absolutely.
do. So, as a former
Absolutely.
flight attendant, all right, I gotta ask, have you have you experienced that, or has your former flight attendant associates experienced that? I mean, what do you think about this?
Okay, so I appreciate always when you bring up my past life as a flight attendant, because really those were the best years of my life. I miss those years, but yes, I've had many different situations and semantics to happen. Okay, so the unruly passenger thing, I've seen that happen many times while I was on airplanes. I even, I used to be the king of working red eyes. And one
Okay.
night I was working a red eye from San Francisco back to Chicago. And there was an older gentleman, black man, got on the plane. He was a little nervous. We trying to comfort him. It was not a lot of people on the flight. Well, as we're flying and on the red eyes, most people sleep on those flights. You turn the lights
Right.
down low, you get the people a beverage, throw a movie on. As a flight attendant, you can go read, whatever, sleep, whatever you want to do, because these people are knocked out. Well,
Right.
we halfway in the flight, and brother man gets up. He can't see in the cabin. He cussing and carrying on, and y'all better let me out of here, and I need a cigarette. And oh, he just went on and on and on. And so, I'm coming up the aisle. I'm trying to comfort him first, because that's what you're supposed to do. But I'm also trying to cut this problem down so that we don't have to have an emergency landing. First of all, you guys, just to have an emergency landing, you got to give the aircraft 30 minutes to get down. Just like, top of descent and then the final approach, that does really take 30 minutes just for the plane to depressurize, for it to be able to come down. It just does not come down out the air like, okay, we gonna land. You've got
Right.
to get cleared at an airport, everything. So this man had become so unruly, so crazy, and something said to me, Art, you from 79th Street. You can look at this man and tell that this man, probably somebody is sending him away from San Francisco. He probably is being released from some program, whatever. It was an empty seat next to him. I sat down and I said, sir, and I got in his ear. And I started talking very 79th Street to him, very 79th. I made sure no other passengers heard me, but I said, you gonna sit your ass down and you not gonna move. You get what I'm saying? You get your ass up and think you finna move. Me and you gonna have an issue up here, right? He sat the rest of that flight, but I had to get in that ear. I had to get in that ear and speak his language. You get what I'm saying? You right, flight attendants. You've got to figure out what to do to keep that situation from happening. Because keep in mind, if that plane has got to land, you're delaying people that would have to have
Right.
connection flights. You
Right.
you are affect gas, flight
Everything.
crews. Look, if the pilots have been and look, getting to Chicago may be in their 8-hour time limit. Now you might even have to switch pilots because of an emergency
Right.
landing and everything. I got in that man's ear and I told him I will. Y'all know what I said. Y'all know. Y'all know. Just imagine
Yeah.
79th Street, the real 79th Street. And look, the passengers applauded me because he stayed seated the rest of the flight. Now, on the flip side of flight attendants, when I
Yeah.
was in training, you have people from all over the world, different backgrounds, cultures, all of that. Young man was in flight attendant training with us, and we were doing hijacking training. And hijacking training is very serious. You know, like the feds come in, talk to us, everything.
Right.
So they were saying that, you know, if a hijacking ever happened, that they prefer the male flight attendants come out of their uniforms. Like if you got a t-shirt on, whatever, try not to have your uniform on, because men would be the first ones they kill because
Oh
they
wow.
feel you would be an intimidation. Remember the
Right.
Ulla Durkinson story about the
Yes.
flight attendant and the hijacking and the
Mm-hmm.
Stockholm syndrome, where she acted as if she was in love with the hijacker and they had a
Right.
relationship and all. That's really how a hijacking should be handled. Well, this young man who was gay, he, you know, Latin, let me just say that, he was like, but foreign men love me. They love me. So I believe I would be able to handle the situation. So we all laughed it off in class at first. And, you know, we all in class together. Next thing you know, he was like, no, I would definitely try to diffuse the situation because, you know, foreign men love me. Next thing I know, them instructors tapped him on his shoulder. And the next day, he was dismissed from the flight attendant academy. So it does happen. It does happen.
Wow.
People paint a beautiful picture that they look good, that they're functional, and they just snap. So this young man, I feel bad because this is a brother
Mm-hmm.
that who did this on this Delta flight.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure, I don't know how long he's been with Delta, but I'm sure he's making great money, all of that. And, you know, with this being Men's Health Awareness Month, that's the essence of us talking about the importance of mental health issues and men getting checked out. Because I just think that is so sad. Oh, I love Takana. She said a cussing whisperer. Yes. Yes. You know me, boo. You right. You right.
Oh
And he goes,
my
genius. Genius go, I remember. Right. Yes. Absolutely. I got in that man's ear, baby, and I let him have it. I said, if you don't sit yo, right, I'm gonna put my foot up, yo. And I steady just kept saying it in his ear, kept saying, because I'm trying to diffuse the situation. And I
Exactly.
did. Because yeah, people will pop off. You know, Crystal, the owner of Teriyaki Madness, she's a flight
Yes.
attendant.
Yes,
And
she is.
she and I were just talking yesterday, and she works for that airline. Well, y'all know people hot mess flying airline. Y'all
Oh
know we don't
yes.
say the airline because they might be a sponsor. But
Right.
Crystal said people don't mess with her because she's a bigger, taller black woman. And when
Right.
she come down the aisle, she like, don't bring it, don't start it, don't start it, don't bring
That's
it. You
right.
know what I'm saying? So you've got to take that 79th Street with you, or wherever you from, that west side with you, to make sure that that plane, because you're really governing people on that plane. That's what you're doing.
Wow. That's art. That's right, Gina.
Right.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's art.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. Absolutely, baby. I got in his ear and I was like, look, Mo, look, I better put my foot up, yo. You don't want this. Because I'm thinking I got to get to Chicago by 6 a.m. in the morning. We
Right.
ain't got time for no emergency landings. So all right, that's it. What else we got,
Wow.
darling?
Well, in international news, for those who knew about Israel's, they have a new prime minister
They
because
do.
Benjamin Netanyahu. I hope I said his name right. He
Here,
had
I
been
got
in
you.
okay.
Netanyahu. Netanyahu.
Netanyahu. Thank you.
Netanyahu.
He had been in power for 12 years, and now there's a new prime minister. His name is Naftali Bennett. He was sworn in on Sunday, and he won by the narrowest margin, 60-59. That's some narrow.
What,
Yeah.
baby? That's really narrow.
And here's the thing: the former prime minister is making a promise. He said, "I'm gonna do everything I can to disrupt this government." Now, that sounds so familiar.
Right, right.
We're not gonna even
Sound
go
like a
there, but
dictatorship we were just in. It sounded like a right. It sounded like a dictatorship we was in. Do you think so?
but yeah, but they're so, unfortunately, even though Israel is very wealthy, but they're so divided. Again, sounds familiar as well. But congratulations to Mr. Prime Minister Bennett on winning a very tough election. I mean, if you win by one vote, you
Right.
know how tough that is.
Yes, yes, absolutely. That's interesting to say the least. Well,
Okay.
congratulations to the new prime minister of Israel.
Yes.
Netanyahu had been prime minister, oh my God, for
12 years. 12
right,
years.
right, right. Oh
So
wow.
change was happening.
Okay.
Change
All
was
right.
happening. Now here you were talking about Chicago. You know, Juneteenth is coming up, and I know where you're going to be for Juneteenth. But did you know that Mayor Lori is now considering having Juneteenth be an official city holiday June 19th, 2022? At first,
Yes,
she didn't. She was kind of on the fence because it's very expensive. But now she's softening her stance because all it
yeah,
really needs is a majority vote in the city council. So
right.
they're going to be considering, I'm hoping next year, June 19th, 2022, it will be an official city holiday. And that's a good
Very
thing.
good. Well, word or rumor has it that the governor is about to sign something to make the state of Illinois that Juneteenth would be a holiday as well too. So just hold tight. Keep in mind next year is an election year,
Of
and
course.
we must compliment the governor as well as the mayor on the job that they have done and how
Yes.
they've taken care of the residents and businesses of the state of Illinois during this pandemic, and that we're opening back up and that our economy is getting better and things like that. So, I could see that. I really could see that. And Juneteenth is really, because what now? 27 states maybe is
Mm-hmm.
now honoring Juneteenth, which, it'd be nice if it could be a national holiday, but baby steps, but at least we're moving in the right direction.
Yes. And this next story, Art, we have to file a can you believe this? That's what I think of it as. I mean, you think about it. You're a fisherman in the Cape. You about to fish some lobster. And lo and behold, humpback whale come scoring around and eats you up. Now, ladies and gents, I am not telling a fib here. This really happened recently in Boston. I can't even say
Boston,
Boston.
Boston,
Boston.
Boston,
Cape
Boston.
Cod fisherman Michael Packard was lobster diving when a humpback whale tried to eat him. And not only he ate him, guess what happened? He spat him out. So he was in his in belly for 30 to 40 seconds, and the humpback whale said, "What the hell?" and just regurgitated him out. And I
Okay.
was just like, "What?"
First of all, where in the hell was you at that the whales are in the water? Now, I already cannot swim. I'm learning to
Neither can
love
I.
water. Look, I'm learning
Mm-hmm.
to love water. As you guys
You
know,
should. You
I am
Scorpio.
getting
You're water
right.
sign. You should love water.
I am getting so much more comfortable in water. I think I will take a swimming class. This new semi-retired life for me is putting me more in water. It's better for me to exercise in. But I tell you
Mm-hmm.
this much, I'm not getting in any damn water where anything would be in the water bigger than me. So I don't care if it's a shark, I don't care if it's a catfish, a whale. Like, you got to be kidding me. Like, where's the whale at now?
In the ocean. He was in the ocean looking at his lobster traps when the whale consumed him. And 30 to 40 seconds later, spat him out. And he thought that he had broken his legs. Now, you talk about a blessing. God truly had blessed Mr. Michael because
Yes.
he went to the hospital. He was there literally a short amount of time.
Right.
So,
Right.
and it's not and see what people think, people don't understand. Humpback whales, they're not gonna swallow people. That's not what they do. They don't eat people. Because that, just a freak accident. That's the funny part.
Wow.
But and see, I would have never believed this story, Art, until I happened to see it, saw the interview, and saw his friend say, "Yup, he got swallowed by a whale." I said, "God dog it." So,
Well,
that biblical
I've
saying.
I've been swallowed by a few whales in my day too, but they okay. I'm sorry. Okay, okay. I'll leave it at that. I'll leave it at that. I'll leave it at that. But no, when I saw the story, and here's the deal, Kay Renee, you and I both questioned was the
Right,
story true or not. We were really,
right.
but the man's best friend actually witnessed him being swallowed by a whale.
Yes. I would have never believed it if I didn't see it with my own eyes. I'm like, wow. That's where the stories you have to file. Can you believe this? That's
Right.
why I think you have a new segment called "Can You Believe That?"
Well, we'll have to create that segment on the show because the son was on the news talking about it today, and he said, "Imagine getting a phone call from a family member and them saying to you, your dad has been swallowed by a whale." And the son had a look on his face that I was just like, no, I could not imagine your dad, somebody calling saying they've been swallowed by a whale. But thank God the whale regurgitated him and put him back, out, and he's alive and he's back home with his family.
And hopefully the whale is okay.
Yes, absolutely. Well, Kay Renee, we have a special guest joining us this evening, somebody who I talked to over the weekend. As you guys all know, we just love and adore Miss Jerry Norrington. She's been a guest on my radio show many times. She's been a guest here. Miss Jerry Norrington is a proven business leader. She created a wonderful seniors networking program. She is of nothing but class, elegance, and grace. And what we kind of were talking about earlier today, that this pandemic has seemed to brought out a lot of mental issues in people, or just hate, or I don't know. Everybody just seemed to have a very short fuse. So Miss Jerry actually went to a local business here in Chicago seeking services. And when she went to this particular business, everything didn't go the way it should have gone. We're going to let her explain her story, but she also is going to read to us a letter that was in response to her service and the lack of her service. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the show, our wonderful friend. And to tell you how much we love Miss Jerry, we call her Miss Jerry. You get what I'm saying? That's how much we respect and love her. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the show, Miss Jerry Norrington. Yay!
Hey. Hi, Miss Jerry.
Thank you so much. Hello. I am honored to be here tonight. Thank you.
It's so good to see you, Miss Jerry. How you been? You actually haven't been on the show with us this year, so we're glad to see you. How's it been?
I was thinking before that it was before Christmas that I was on the show.
Yes,
I'm moving. Wow. We're doing a lot of fun stuff online because of the pandemic, and looking forward to being able to come back and meet in person, hopefully real soon.
Okay, well, Miss Jerry, I kind of told the audience a little bit about you and what you do. You've been a proven business leader for years. I met you as a business leader and a mentor. You have since pivoted and started a wonderful networking organization for seniors. So before we get into your problem, just introduce yourself to everybody and tell them a little bit about your background.
Okay. The organization is Single Black Seniors Network. We've been established. This is, it'll be 5 years in 2 months, 5 years. And I have to give Chat Daddy a lot of credit because he was pushing me to go ahead and make it happen. And we're not a dating service. And that's the misconception that lots of people have. We are not a dating service. We just bring together seniors so that we can abate the whole sense of isolation. We have socials, we go to plays and movies, and all of this was prior to the pandemic. Since the pandemic, we have a weekly chat, video chat on Zoom. We have a movie night once, sometimes twice a month, where we all come together, we watch a movie, then we discuss it. We have gone out to lunch a couple of times during the pandemic. And we have a book club where we read a book and we review it online. So we have different things going on and look forward to being able to get back on track as soon as we can.
Okay. Well, Miss Jerry, I'm always here to support you, whatever you need. I'm honored that you always allow me to put your events out there and to help you attract people. And you've just been wonderful over the years. I've attended your events. They've been class act events. Kay Renee, where she has another in person, I'll have to take you. Beautiful lunches, great gifts. She's worried about the safety of the people who come out and make sure, just everything is covered. But Miss Jerry, you recently had an unfortunate situation at a high-end salon here in Chicago. And so tell us what happened at this high-end salon.
High-end, those are your words, not mine. But my barber that I have used for over 15 years, and I love him dearly, and he does an excellent job. You see that I have very short hair, have kept it very short for a lot of years. He moved away, well, not away, but far enough that as a senior, I just didn't want to have to travel that far by car. So I was talking with my sisters who also have short hair, and they also had to find someone to cut their hair after the pandemic hit because their barber had shut down his shop and retired after 20 some years.
Right.
So she recommended Van Cleef, and in particular, Ronnie Flowers.
Yes.
And I didn't even know his last name at the time, but she said, I know that the two of these sisters go in, they get their hair cut, they wash their hair at home, they get their hair cut, and they leave. That's it. That's all I was looking for. I called. It took almost a week to get an appointment just because obviously he must be busy. But I had an appointment scheduled. I was asked, I was told that I'd need to fill out a little form when I got there. So I got there a few minutes early so I'd have time to do that. And they showed me where to get a smock. And it turned out the shop is Van Cleef Studio, hair studio. And it's on South Halsted Avenue. And it's a nice looking shop, but it was empty. There was only one person working, and that was him. There was another person, and when I say one person working, actually doing hair, there were other people in the salon that were workers. The receptionist was there. A gentleman came over and he asked if I wanted a shampoo and conditioner. I said, no, I did that at home before I came. So I sat there. And as a professional business person, I have time limitations for everything that I do.
Amen.
I wait for people beyond a certain amount of time. I hit my limit for time sitting there watching him run his mouth while he's cutting a woman's hair, and her hair was almost shorter than mine. But I sat there for 30 minutes watching him talk and work on this woman's hair. Well, 30 minutes was my limit. I walked over to the receptionist. I said, I have another appointment. I only allotted 30 minutes. I have to leave. So Ronnie heard me and walked over to me. And he said, just give me 5 more minutes. I'll be finished. I said, but I have another appointment. I said, my barber only takes 20 minutes, half hour max. And that's the time that I had allotted. So it's time for me to go. And he tried a couple more times. Well, just give me 3 minutes. Just hold on. I'm sorry. I need to go. And I was not brass. I was not rude. I was not unprofessional in any way. But I exited the shop, and as I did, I heard him saying something under his breath. If you have to go, then just go. And it was not very nice. I didn't think anything about it. And a few days later, I got a letter in the mail from him and his partner. And I'd like to just take a moment and read the letter.
Please do, Miss Jerry. Please.
I was floored. Dear Miss Norrington, Van Cleef has been in business for over 40 years with numerous 5-star reviews due to our exemplary attention to providing outstanding service. Your introduction to our salon did not meet our expectations or standards. We are a full-service establishment, not a barbershop. Had you clearly explained to our front desk staff that you would not need a shampoo and conditioner, we could have scheduled your appointment accordingly to minimize your wait time. Your lack of sophistication and competence caused the problem that occurred. Your crude and uncouth behavior does not represent the type of clients that our upscale salon services. All the best in your search. Now, I read past several typographical errors in this letter,
Well,
but
so
it
did
is
we. So did we when we
So
proofed
did
the letter,
we.
Miss Jerry. So did we. So did we.
okay.
So did we.
It, it is signed Ronnie Michael Flowers, owner stylist, and Daryl Wells, salon manager. I couldn't believe it, especially you've been in business 40 years and you have the audacity to write a letter like this to a client, a potential client, rather than send an apology and encourage them to come back and maybe reduce services for the initial visit again. I couldn't believe it. And I really feel it was just his ego damaged because he claims to be stylist to the stars. He has styled Michelle Obama. I don't care. That is no way to treat a client, period. And I really think that his ego was bruised. And how dare she, anyone, walk out of my shop like that? So I wanted everyone to know just the type of person that he is. And I feel when you disrespect one of us, you disrespect all of us. And I
Yes.
am a senior, and this is how you are going to treat a senior Black woman, and you're a Black man? Come on now.
Hmm. Well, can we pass the collection plate? Can somebody say amen? Can right and right.
Amen.
Kay Renee, I mean, you and I talked about this the other day. You know, again, Miss Jerry, this would be different if I know who I'm talking to. I know who Miss Jerry is, her personality, all of that. I was just shocked and flabbergasted when we got the letter and saw the letter. Kay Renee, what do you think about this?
First of all, I think he's a hypocrite. And he was speaking all language, albeit misspelled, that he couldn't write. He was talking about himself, about how uncouth he was to you. And he just portrayed it out on you. And see, when you're in the service business, the customer is always right. And for the fact that how he disrespected you as a black woman, that just kind of incensed me. And so I'm, even though you're turning this lemons into true lemonade, because I guarantee you, we all know who this man is. And for
Mm-hmm.
him,
Mm-hmm.
the thing that bothered me the most, Miss G, is he's not busy. For the fact he kept saying, "Oh, let me give me 2 more minutes, 1 more minute," that lets you know that he was doing nothing but flapping his mouth. And we all
Right.
know what ego stands for: edging God out. So he edged the God in him out and just wanted to had the devil to be portrayed on you. And that was just not right at all.
Mm-hmm. Well,
Thank
Miss
you.
Jerry, I saw where your daughter had started a writing campaign and put the letter out there and you know was trying to let people know about this. I do know several people that go to his salon. I know several high-end people, and then I know just everyday people that go there. And I've reached out to a few people and just said, this is absolutely ridiculous. Like, why would you even write a letter like that? It would be a
Right.
situation of, I'm so sorry, ma'am. That's not our normal procedure and
Right.
practice.
Right.
Would love to invite you back for a true Van Cleef experience or whatever the case may be. Because I'm
Yes.
trying to figure out what made you uncouth. Like Miss Jerry, I like, you got to be kidding me. Miss Jerry, I've been knowing you so long, like uncouth. You've never even been unkept, Miss Jerry. Do you understand me? So I just don't get that. So you definitely have my support, Kay Renee's support, as well as people who are watching this show tonight, because, and you can, share this from YouTube and Facebook with people to let them know, because this is absolutely ridiculous. Yep. Oh, yeah, from your daughter's page last week. Yep. There
Right.
goes somebody that said they saw it on your
Yeah.
daughter's page. Yeah, this is ridiculous. This is, but I really do think it's the pandemic. Miss Jerry, what else do you think about this?
I, I I'm dumbfounded. I truly am. And he talked about I was not the type of clientele for his upscale salon. I went to Mario Tricoci on Michigan Avenue for 6 years straight. I never had to wait 20 minutes even for any of their services. And I had all kinds of services from them and enjoyed the services that I received. I just moved further south and it was a problem for me to go downtown regularly. So I found a
Mm-hmm.
barber that could pick up the slack. And I
Mm-hmm.
was fine with that. But for them to, you don't even know me. You had 2 minutes of interaction with me, and you're going to make these slanderous comments about me? That's just not right.
Mm-hmm. Right.
Miss
Boy,
Jerry, I
everybody
hope
chiming in on this.
Miss Jerry, I hope your daughter and you will write a letter to the Better Business Bureau. See, this is the type of thing that people need to know about because again, he's in the service industry. So the consequences of his actions will be boomerang by his behavior because he made a choice when he sent you
Right.
that letter. So now the consequences will have to happen.
And thank you for reminding me because someone else had also suggested that I do that. My daughter got over
Mm-hmm.
230 comments on putting the letter out there, and
Mm-hmm.
most of them were positive. So
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, I was so glad when you called me, Miss Jerry, because again, I had read it and I said, oh my God. And then when you called me and I said, oh, I fully understand. Because I even explained to you, I said, because of the pandemic, I even had to switch barbers and the whole
right,
dynamic
right.
has changed. And just even trying to find somebody new to cut my hair and to understand I could be running late or can we establish a relationship where if I am, I'm coming and just all of that. But I know you are very much about being on time, doing things on time and doing things accordingly. And I just am shocked that he would even do something like that because he is adored and loved by all of his A-list people. And so that's
Yeah.
why I just can't believe it because I know he wouldn't do any of them A-list women like that. You know what I'm saying?
And he doesn't know anything about me, but I was a business coach for 40 plus years, working with small business owners, teaching them how to be effective and profitable in operating their businesses. So I am always about being on time, but I'm also about don't waste my time and respect it. If you
Amen.
can't respect my time, I'm certainly not going to respect yours.
Mm-mm,
Amen.
mm-mm. Well,
Amen.
okay, Renee, what else do you want to say to Miss Jerry before we let her go? Well, Miss Jerry, look, if nothing else, please take this interview with us and use it, send it. We'll even try to forward. I'm gonna send it out to a few people, but this
Okay.
is this is just unacceptable. It really is, and really, I feel you are owed a heartfelt apology. I feel as if he should pamper you like the queen you truly are, and just ignorance is just bliss these days, and it's sad, sad, sad. Okay, Renee, what do you think?
Well, first, Miss Jerry, it's such a pleasure meeting you for the first time. I know it probably won't be my last time. I hope is that you and your daughter will not only write a letter to the Better Business Bureau, but also Google and write because I'm very good at that. Writing reviews, good, bad, or indifferent, and you would be surprised. The 230 your daughter received, it will multiply once it's out there. And word the wise to all these service industries. What we're now opening up, you have to give quality service. Otherwise, if you don't give quality service, you will have no business. So we support you wholeheartedly, Miss Jerry, and it's such a pleasure to meet you.
Thank you. Thank you both. And Chat Daddy, I love you and I appreciate you allowing me to be on the show. If you send me that link, I'll make sure that I send it out.
Absolutely. And Miss Jerry, whenever you get your events back up and running, any way I can be of assistance, if you need me, please, we got to get you back in the co-host seat as well. Just glad that you're doing well. You look beautiful as always, but I just cannot believe that somebody on his level, bottom line, people shouldn't even treat people like that, period. But
Period.
That's
somebody to
right.
be on Ronnie Flowers' level, to even send somebody a letter like that is just ignorance like you wouldn't believe. That's just crazy.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
All
thank
right.
you again. And I hope you have a wonderful evening
Thank
and
you.
rest of the week.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, Miss
Okay.
Jerry Norrington, just trying to help people is what we do on this show. Thank you, Miss Jerry. We love you so much and have a great night. Be safe, and we can't wait to hear what
Bye,
happens
Miss
with this.
Jerry.
Okay.
All
Thank
right.
you again.
All right. Bye bye. Wow. I
Bye.
told you. I told you. People are bringing doozies to us, and we appreciate that on this show. We really do. We don't take any of these things for granted. But if we don't love each other and help each other, we will continuously, keep falling apart. And that's what we're seeing with all this crime and violence and disconnect, not only in the Black and brown community, but just disconnect among mankind. And so,
That's right.
we're trying to do whatever we can to bring awareness and, no disrespect, to anybody that is a customer of his, but this situation does need to be addressed. It really does need to be
Amen.
addressed because that is really
Amen.
a horrible situation that you would send somebody a letter talking about uncouth. Are you kidding me?
He was talking about himself and just reflected on Miss Jerry. And see, that's what that was about. I mean, once you can meet this woman and tell she's truly about business, grace, dignity, and integrity. He was talking about himself. That's all.
Mm,
But
mm, just
what do
unbelievable.
I always say, Art? Karma is a what? Very patient gangster.
Yes, it
Very
is. Yes, it
patient.
is. Yes. All right. Well, for those of you all that are just joining us, welcome to the Monday night edition of the Real Chat Daddy Show. I am your host, Chat Daddy. So glad to be here with you guys on this beautiful Monday evening. In the co-host chair is the number one co-host, the one and only Miss Kay Renee of Karen's Nuggets of Knowledge. And we're here just covering all the top news stories of the weekend. We just helped a Chicago resident who had a just horrific experience with a high-end salon here in Chicago that was just totally unnecessary. Coming up in just a little bit, we're celebrating June being Black Music Month, as well as the centennial of the Wall Street destruction in Oklahoma City, the massacre. And so tonight we'll be talking to two music producers about a wonderful project that remembers and celebrates I don't know, I guess commemorate, not celebrate, but
Right.
commemorate what happened 100 years ago. All right, Kay Renee, what else we got on the dais, my dear?
Well, unfortunately, we have another transition to report. Over yesterday, he has been known as a character actor. You may not
Yes,
remember his name, but you remember some of the movies: All the President's Men, Deliverance, Network, in which he was nominated for Academy Award, and he was the henchman in Superman 1 and 2 with Gene
yes,
Hackman. I'm
yes,
talking about Ned Beatty, who passed away yesterday at the age of 83. And he's like that, you remember Brian Dennehy? That was a
yes,
character actor. That's who Ned Beatty was. I mean,
yes,
even he did the voiceover to Toy Story.
yes.
He was nominated for a Golden Globe for Toy Story. So, a great actor. He had his career spanned over 4 decades, and so he passed away due to natural causes. So prayers go out to his family and friends.
Hmm. All right, what else we got in the news?
Well, I don't know if you know this, Art. Even though we live in a vibrant city called Chicago, and even though Mayor Lori has opened up Chicago, there will be no jazz, no gospel, or no blues fest this summer. They taking the summer off. Did you know that?
Well, right, because yesterday and today they did announce several things that would be coming back. I guess the Taste of Chicago will kind of be a food truck type of situation where you
Mm-hmm.
grab your food and go. Um, Gospel Fest, the Blues Fest, and the Jazz Fest are events where I consider where people come and marinate at these events.
Mm-hmm.
People come to the Gospel Fest and stay all day long. People come to the Blues Fest and they stay all day long. They sit, they absorb the music. Same way with the Jazz Fest. So crowds that large and the demographic most of the time. Think about what the demographic is. That probably is why they're not trying to do an event that large like that.
Oh, I'm sure a lot of people are kind of sad about that, but I mean, I understand. I do understand, but there will be no jazz, blues, or gospel fest this year.
Oh, well, honey, I'll sing some jazz, blues, and gospel for you. How about that? How about
Okay,
I'll do a
that'll work.
concert for you in your backyard? How about that?
Oh, that'll work perfect because you know I live right across the street from a park, so that'll work
I
perfectly.
know, I know. So wait a minute. Gina just asked a question about what about Lollapalooza?
Oh, that's
Lollapalooza is
still
it's a petri dish. It's a petri dish.
it is.
We already know that there will probably be so many cases of COVID at
Mm-hmm.
Lollapalooza. If
Mm-hmm.
nothing else, all the half dressed, half naked young people that be at it, some type of something is going to be spread at Lollapalooza. I'm telling you, blues, gospel, and jazz is a certain demographic, and they're trying to protect them.
Well, speaking of people dressing like anybody, you had sent me some photographs of somebody around this neighborhood that went to a local drugstore who was looking. Uh, uh, I don't. I don't want to say, Art. I really, I when I saw the photos, I said he had to be making this up.
No,
And then
no.
I saw the first photo. I said, "Who? Tell the story." I just I'm still in shock about this.
Okay. So here's the deal. The last couple of weeks, since the weather has been really warm here in Chicago, I have gone into several retail establishments and have seen women in outfits that they really have no business being in these outfits. And I got in trouble by one of our faithful viewers because she thought I was body shaming. I'm not body shaming at all. I used to be much larger than what I am. I'm not taking my clothes off like that in public, all that kind of stuff. So I'm not body shaming. Please understand this. But when you are a 300-pound woman in a string bikini in a local drugstore or big box store, and you don't have any type of cover up on, where is your respect? Where is your decency? Where is your and so I even had people get on me saying, Art, how do you know these people can't afford? Maybe they can't afford no more than the bikini. She had on 6-inch red bottom shoes. She had tattoos all over her body, gold chains, bracelets, diamonds, and a 65-inch TV in her cart. So I don't think it was a matter of economics. I just think it was a matter of don't give no. And you would walk around a store where elderly, children, the second situation this past Saturday, I was in another store and a woman came in with some shorts. I won't even say they were shorts. I was able to get a side view. And the only reason why I don't want to post these pictures is I'm famous. I don't want any retaliation. I don't want to get killed over posting somebody's mama or cousin. But I took a picture of the side view of this woman. And how bad was it, Kay Renee? How bad was it?
I was angry and disgusted because one, and she wore a bonnet. Now we know about Monique talk about women wearing bonnets out in the streets. That was one thing, but the fact that you're showing your body and the point that you make that or whoever one of your viewers has said, well, maybe she can't afford it. We live in Chicago. We have 5 seasons. She wouldn't be wearing that in the winter in 20 below zero. So don't tell me she wanted to wear it. Apparently there has to be some type of insecure issue because knowing you just would not wear something like that. I
Right,
mean, we
right.
it's bad enough, Art, and I'm gonna be real with you right now. As a black woman, and I'm black, I'm a woman, I'm an older woman. I couldn't do anything like that. I
Right,
just couldn't
right, right.
because the saying goes, you have to be always what above reproach. You
Right,
always have to present yourself in a certain way. You are a brand. When you walk out of that door, your brand goes with you. So I was disgusted seeing that. If I had seen them, I'd be like, wouldn't you want to put some clothes on?
right.
And especially if you have children. I saw she was with someone, but that could have been her son or daughter, young son or daughter. What kind of image are you setting for your child walking around in the store like that? And
Yep.
businesses, they have the right. They have a sign saying, "Hey, no shoes, no shirt, no service, what's that thing? Oh, no bikini, no thongs up in here." You need to
Right.
present yourself in a certain way. I was really angry about that. When you first, I was disgusted and shocked, but then I got angry. I said, "Why do
So
this?"
I said to the greeter at the big box store, I said, hey, listen, you all are allowing this woman to walk around in this store in this bikini. I can't get it. He said to me, sir, we already having enough problems with trying to get people just to wear the mask. And now you want us, we cannot tell them what not to wear in this store. I said, sir, this lady is really, this is indecent exposure. This is just not some pants sagging. This is just not somebody with their shirt open and maybe breasts might be exposed. This is a 300-pound woman in a string bikini shopping in this store, and nobody thinks this is crazy. The situation Saturday was so bad that a man and a woman got into an argument in line in the drugstore because the wife kept saying, you looking at her ass. I know you looking at her ass. I'm watching you look at her ass. And he'd be like, baby, I can't help but to look at her ass. It's out. And she arguing with him while they standing in line. So to me, you have children in the store. You have elderly in the store. People are in the drugstore to get medicine and whatever it is. We don't need a freak show in public. We just don't.
Yeah.
And so I think something needs to be done about that. I just, I used to be mad about the brothers sagging their pants, but now I'm mad about these women coming in these stores butt naked. And then here's the other thing, and no disrespect, not body shaming, but this Lizzo thing, I think it has sparked these women to feel free to have their booty cheeks out in public places like that. I couldn't believe it.
Well, here's the thing. Had she been up on the north side, you think they would allow her to be in the store? Absolutely not.
Right.
They'd escort her little tail out.
Right.
Booty cheeks and all. So
Right.
don't tell me that, you can't enforce that. Because if there's no way she would have been on the north side dressed like that and still be able to make a purchase.
Yes, absolutely. All right. Well, we're going to continue to move on. For those of you all that are just joining us, welcome to the Monday night edition of the Real Chat Daddy Show. I am your host, Chat Daddy. Glad that you guys are here with us. The month of June is moving by quite quickly. We're at the midpoint of the month. June is Black Music Month. June is also Men's Health Awareness Month. And so coming up this week, we'll talk more about men's health awareness. But tonight, we are excited to welcome two guests to the show. We're going to talk about a multi-generational, multi-genre compilation known as the 1921 Black Wall Street Music Project. As you guys all know, we are on the heels of the Centennial of the Tulsa Race Massacre. And so tonight we have two gentlemen that will be talking to us about this wonderful musical journey that will be released over the summer. Everything from famous artists are a part of this to just everyday regular people who want to have their voices heard and want to celebrate or commemorate this occasion. I always say celebrate, but it really is commemorate. But music makes us feel as if we want to celebrate. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the show. Our good friends, Mr. Fred Jones, who serves as the executive producer of the Black Wall Street Music Project, along with Tulsa's Guy Troop and music industry veteran. Oh, wait. Did I get that right? But music veteran, Mr. Thornell Jones Jr., who also serves as an executive producer on this. Let's welcome these gentlemen back to the show. Gentlemen, good evening. Yay. Hello.
Good evening.
How are you?
Hello.
Doing great. Doing great, man. Thanks for having us.
It is a pleasure, gentlemen. Happy 2021. I think the last time we talked, wasn't it back in the pandemic? And now that we've come out of the pandemic, glad to see you, gentlemen. How are you both doing tonight? Uh-oh, you on mute. We got to unmute you.
You're muted, Thornell. We're doing really great, man. Just trying to, continue to move the needle on the project. Lots of exciting things coming up. Thornell and Allison Thomas and Shifty Jones and Constance. They're working me hard, man. But Thornell's an industry veteran, and you can't lose with a guy like that on your team. Thornell, did you unmute yet?
We trying to get him to unmute. Wait, hold on. It's on his end because we did it here. Let's see. And and we know he got a lot of good stuff to say. Let's try. Can't unmute guest because okay. Oh, he coming back in. We'll wait just a second.
Yeah.
So Fred, let's talk about
with his internet in Miami.
Okay. Let's talk about this wonderful project and how it all came about.
Man, about 4 years ago, I'm a webmaster for Oklahoma Eagle newspaper, which is oldest black family-owned publication in America. And my colleague Godfrey, who happens to be also one of the EPs on the project, was kind of asking me, what was I going to do for the Centennial? And I said, well, I don't want to be like everybody else. So, I had a musical background. My high school teammate, college roommate, Wayne Tisdale, very successful NBA player in my position.
Yes.
So start thinking about, hey, why don't I just put together a music compilation with different artists from Tulsa, expressing, reconciliation and healing and moving forward. We talk a lot about reparations, and I'm all for that. But, we also need to lay some foundation that would help create a better Greenwood, a better Tulsa, a better Oklahoma, and create better people. There's always room for improvement. So we were able to put together a great collection of artists. I worked with Thornell over the years. Thornell's got a Grammy for Jill Scott. He's a teacher at UCLA. He's just all over the place. But he's the language guy. When I don't understand something, which is usually every other day, I'm calling my big brother trying to figure out what we do. But he bit into it. He took a big bite, and he's been here a few times, and he's helped the artists. With a lot of different things. He's came in one time just to teach about contracts. So, we love Thornell. He's a Jones anyway, so we don't have a problem with accepting him as a true Tulsa.
Can you hear me now?
We're so glad to have you with us now that we figured out the mute situation. It's an honor.
I have no idea what was going on, Art. That was crazy, but I'm glad to be here. This is my brother from another mother, Fred Jones, but we're literally not related. But, that's always the big joke amongst Joneses is like, what branch of the Joneses are you from, right?
Right.
But yeah, Fred kind of laid it out right. We met probably 2000, 2001 on the first Jill Scott project with Hidden Beach. And it's, when you meet good people. And I think one of the things I loved about Fred from the beginning was he was just authentic and honest and, had a passion for music and was one of those people who was willing to roll up their sleeves and work hard to get it done. And so while he had been working on the project for, behind the scenes for a couple of years, developing relationships with the local artists, doing shows with them and just kind of coming up with the concept for the record, he came to me about a year ago and asked me to join the team and help them kind of, put the finishing touches on things and do a lot of the behind the scenes work to kind of, make sure that we could have a world-class release. So I am so proud because I came to the project and, in a theoretical kind of way. And as I started hearing the music, it was kind of like, whoa, the talent pool in Tulsa is ridiculous. So, having had the opportunity to, work with Jill and Kindred and Jeff Bradshaw and the people from Philadelphia, and also work with a cluster of artists out of Portland and working with artists out of DC and out of Atlanta, you realize that the way a community comes up, a music community comes up, is through a collective. And so this album really is that. It is a collective. The artists have come together around this topic to communicate the messages of the horror, but also the beauty of an all-Black community that was able to create such abundance
Yeah.
that and let's just break it down. Fred will give you the political because he's got to live in the town. I don't have to.
Right. I understand.
They were haters.
Yeah.
Haters.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was all about money. It was all about the fact that, the dollar didn't leave the community unless it went to the train to purchase more supplies. It was about the fact that, if you were a black maid or a black butler, you actually worked for black people. The community was that successful. Madam C.J. Walker had a beauty school here. I believe she opened it in 1919. And that was just everything, 35 different stores and theaters and just, cleaners and everything that you needed, was right there in the community. And, it was, like I said, it was about money. The dollar not leaving, unless it was used to purchase supplies. And it was a tragedy, with the elevator incident. They were actually lovers. And I think they got caught in a compromising position. And the white crowd, became enraged and, put the guy in jail. The black folk get together, decide we're going to go down and get him out. And, we know from 1919, the Red Summer, that, D.C. and St. Louis and several other cities, that this was a trend of behavior among white America at that time. So, when they bombed, they made sure they used kerosene bombs because the military would not allow them to get the military bombs out of the stockpile. So they created the kerosene bombs, which burnt for 3 days. And the only saving grace in that is that it also, every Memorial Day in Oklahoma that I've been alive, it has rained. And it even rained this year. So the rain didn't save much, but, we don't know how many lives are actually lost. If they're claiming, 300, it may be 1,300. That just looked good for the newspaper. The paper that was published the following day talked about, the niggers dead. And then it was retracted and they came out with a different publication, which, just like the story has been hush hush. So the newspapers, you can't really find any copies or anything, like that. Growing up here, it was never really talked about. I remember mentioning to my grandmother late in her life, and she just said, that they had went to a town 25 miles away, which is Okmulgee, a little country town, and said that they could see the smoke from there. So you can imagine 35 blocks. People had pianos and things that were just treasures back then. They looted and rioted the homes, took the goods, pillaged, took the goods, ran the folk off to concentration camps, and then continued to burn. So it's a sad story, but this is a new day, and we're trying to, through music, promote, harmony, diversity and inclusion, and all of those things that help the world be a better place. Yes, I believe in reparations, but we've got to. I believe that Thornell and I are in a good place. Constance from Isotopia Records has been incredible. Allison Perkins, Thomas Thornell's assistant, Thornell's co-worker, has been incredible. He's smiling over there at me. I get all kind of titles mixed up, man.
Yeah, we're gonna let you go with that one because Art knows Allison Perkins Thomas. They're Chicago.
I do. I love Allison.
Okay.
Yes. Chicago home folks. Yes,
That's right. Well, Kay Renee and I both read the Rolling Stone article. We've been following this. Allison has kept me abreast with all of this, gentlemen, and I'm gonna let Kay Renee chime in just a second. But my question is, how do you figure out, with all of the musical talent that's out here and the number of people who have been moved by this, how did you guys even figure out? Because is the album like 28 days long, or is it? Because it would have to be, because I'm sure everybody would want to add to this. So how did you make the decision of who would be a part of this?
I started out with a whole lot of songs. Thornell, you know, being the Big Brother Project, was like, he didn't say hell no, but he was like, no to the no. No, we can't do that. We got to break it down to 16 songs. And I was like, I want 21. You know, it's a really good number. And he was like, oh, hell no, we're not doing that. You got to figure out. We had to cut some artists and great artists, but you know, these millennials that we have, man, are just awesome. You know, we've got several different genres in one record. You know, and the problem when you do a record like this, and you have all this great talent, is everybody wants to be the next single.
Right.
We have a great problem. Everybody wants to be the next single. So I'll let Thornell chime in on that.
Well, you know, the thing about this record is, as the songs came in, you know, we started working with different sequences, trying to figure out what was the narrative that we wanted to tell with these songs, because you know they don't exist in a vacuum. And while yes, in the streaming era, people can, you know, cherry pick the songs that they want to listen to, it is designed as an album listening experience. And while we are doing the digital release in July, we are going to be really focused on a really beautiful package for the vinyl release, which will come out later in the year, hopefully in September. So as the music would come in, we would come up with a sequence. And I know my first sequence was very somber and spiritual and stuff. And then more music came in that was more, you know, fiery and passionate and, you know, celebratory of the spirit of the people of Black Wall Street and stuff like that. And so the record took on a different tone. And so now we've got a wonderful collection. And as Fred said, some millennials, but it's like, it's multi-genre, multi-generational, and I don't know, I mean, it's multi-everything. It feels like a really beautiful melting pot of music. The lead singles that dropped for the Centennial were Kerosene by O'Malley B and Steph Simon. And this song is an allegory. It's you know, Fred talked about how they use kerosene bombs to actually, you know, drop on the city and turn the city on fire. But it's an allegory for the people of the city being on fire, being passionate, being able to, you know, create something new and better looking forward. So, and it's really cool because packed into the song, it's like a lesson. And the O'Malley was just named Teacher of the Month there in Tulsa. So, you know, it's like teaching us about the race massacre at the same time teaching the kids about who they are and who their legacy is. Right. The other song is an amazing like R&B ballad by a father and his two sons, Doc Shaw and Lester and Retzel Shaw, and it's a beautiful R&B ballad. It's like perfect for Quiet Storm, but it's about looking forward and the sun rising and illuminating a dark situation. And we thought that those were the first two records that were great for the messaging counterpoint. So we know the record's coming in July and we're in a singles game and we just want people to hear music. So we actually are going to be releasing two more singles for Juneteenth. One is called For Black Wall Street. It's kind of a West Coast hip hop flavored song by Dangerous Rob and Player 1000. They have, and the crazy thing about them is they give us a window to international because both of them have like big fan bases in Japan. And then we have one other song, which I love the way Fred tells the story, but it's a song called Oklahoma Made. It's celebrating people and from Oklahoma, and it's by the spoken word artist who's also a great rapper named Cody Ransom. And Oklahoma Made was just an idea we were kicking around in a meeting. I came out to just sit, hang, and shoot the shit with these artists, and we said we should do a song that celebrates the people from Oklahoma. And then they developed this list. Fred, take it away.
Yeah, we throw all these names out on the white sheet on the board, and Cody says, "Well, I'll make a song out of it." And I was like, "Okay, well then, if you make a song, we got to put a beat to it." You know, I said, we're going to have a song. If we're going to put this together, it's going to be a song that plays at barbecues. You know, so us being from Tulsa, Oklahoma, we first tried to make it, gap band outstanding. It's like we're gonna put outstanding up on it, and it's gonna be fire. Well, it never really locked up, but then Adrian Robbins, who's also our MD for the band, kind of twisted it up a little bit. And I mean, Oklahoma made, it talks about Blake Shelton, Wayman Tisdale, Cornel West.
Wow.
It talks about Kitty Mundy, who, is also Olympic gold medalist. It talks about Carrie Underwood. It talks about some of our lesser folk that didn't achieve such great levels but did great things. I mean, there's like 45 names in there. He just flowed with it.
It's incredible. It's an incredible celebration of folks from Oklahoma. Yeah. I didn't know Alfred Wood was from Oklahoma.
Yeah, she is. And wait, so gentlemen, Kay Renee is actually, she's quite the vocalist, and Kay Renee has been very much in tune with everything with the commemorance of Black Wall Street. Kay Renee, you're not from Oklahoma, but it looks as if we might have to pack up and go visit. What do you take from all of this, with what these gentlemen have shared this evening?
I am just so in awe and honored to just meet the two of you. Seeing the documentary of the Tulsa Race Massacre. The one thing that made me angry is because I didn't learn about this in school. I had to learn about this later in life. And not only that, there were several race massacres throughout the country, but Tulsa was the largest. And I have a friend who came from Tulsa. I have a dear friend who lived in Oklahoma City. But I want to know from the two of you, particularly, who inspires you? I know this project definitely has taken a wonderful, beautiful beat of its own. But who inspires the two of you to be the best?
Thornell, okay.
Go ahead. It's your turn.
I'll tell you what. When you talk about not being taught, I'm from Tulsa, Oklahoma, and I went to Booker T. Washington, which is for a long time been the #1 high school in the state. Not only academically, but we've had a lot of athletic success. But we were never taught about the race massacre. I'm the first when they started integration in Oklahoma. They took 12 whites and 12 blacks and put us in prefabs. And I'm one of those 12 blacks in 1972 when they integrated schools. And one of those people that I connected to was a lady named Nancy McDonald, who just fought like the Dickens for black and white kids to go to school together. So I kind of have her spirit. I'll go the extra mile. I did a Juneteenth about 10 years ago on Guthrie Green, which is, on Tate Brady Street at that time. And a lot of people said, well, how are you going to go do that? And I was like, well, we're going to just make him turn over in the grave. Tate Brady is the one who started the race massacre and committed suicide 6 months later in his home, which is now owned by Felix Jones, who was a black guy from Tulsa, from Booker T, who played for the Dallas Cowboys. So, we continue to just do what we can to make moves. But Nancy McDonald certainly inspired me, as far as diversity and inclusion. And, being a magnet school student, being that first 12 and 12, being that having to go to school with your friends, but y'all better not talking about, staying all night. My dad was like, boy, you better not bring that over here. And my white friends was like, yeah, that ain't a good idea. So we just decided we'd keep it all in school. But, we're in a different place now in society, and I still have some of those relationships from elementary. But those are the people that, that help me sometimes when I feel like, man, this is not working, or I want to give up. Because they didn't give up on us, they fought for the magnet school system, and being one of those first 12, sometimes just makes me say, what the hell, I'm going to do it anyway.
Right.
Wow. I'll do stuff. I need some white people. I'll call my white friends. I need some white people. They feel okay. They show up, you know what I mean? Because we were the first. So we understand that, sometimes it's still a trip. It is what it is.
It is. That's right. But Fred, you're absolutely right about that. Our other brother Jones, who inspires
Jones
you?
Jr.
Reverend Jones.
Jones Jr. Yeah.
Reverend Jones Jr.
I got to tell you, at the risk of sounding trite, my dad inspires me. When I was a little kid, he was a grad student at the University of Connecticut, and he was a little older than the other students there, but he was like a big brother to them. And it was the mid to late 60s. It was the height of the civil rights era. And he was very active and very involved. And he used to take us to the rallies and the protests. And so that, I feel like that's in my blood, you know. I also came from an integrated educational environment. In fact, when I lived in Connecticut, me and my sister were the only two Black children in school. And I had to endure a lot of bullying and things of that nature. But, you know, some of my best friends growing up were of all different races, whether it was the children of the scientists and engineers from India who were working at IBM, or some of the Italian immigrants or Irish immigrants from New York City who'd moved to our neighborhood. We learned about the melting pot. And so we're going through a lot of changes here in the United States now. And for this centennial to come up now and kind of put race and, you know, racial strife and the horrific outcome of the Tulsa Race Massacre front and center, it kind of just pushes those buttons for me that says, you know, I have to do my part to speak to equality and diversity and inclusion of my people, you know, on behalf of those people who can't speak for themselves. So last year during the pandemic and people out in the street protesting the murder of George Floyd and stuff like that, I kind of fell back because candidly, I was, you know, one of the older people who could have gotten killed by COVID. And so I kind of hung back a little bit. But when Fred came to me with this opportunity to work with him on this project, it was a perfect storm of wanting to contribute to the dialogue about race relations in America, and utilizing, you know, my gifts and skill sets and relationships in the music industry to bring the story to light.
Very good. Oh my God, that was incredible.
Wow.
What do you think, Kay Renee?
Yes. I'm just, you know, even though it took me, did I say better late than never, even learning in school to learn it now, I have a better appreciation for who I am. I even appreciation that we Black people, we are just so talented in all different things, and we will, you know, I think I'm tired of our history being whitewashed. I think with the Centennial Massacre, it will never be whitewashed again. We will keep the story, and I really thank the two of you telling the story through music, because music does heal the soul and it heals the spirit. So again, thank you both.
I couldn't agree more. Gentlemen, when is the release of the music? And see, I know my good friend Allison, somehow I believe there's an anthology somewhere in here. This is just not the how many, 16 people or 18 people? I hear an anthology here. Allison only works on anthology projects.
Well, you know, it's funny because as we got into making the record, we realized, you know what? We have an opportunity for themed compilations, whether it's the women of Black Wall Street, or whether it's, you know, the men of Black Wall Street, or the spirit of Black Wall Street as a gospel project or whatever like that. I got to tell you, world-class talent in Tulsa, Oklahoma. I am extraordinarily proud to be associated with this project, to be working with Fred Jones, to be working with artists like O'Malley B and the Shaws and, you know, Dangerous Rob and Player 1000 and, you know, Carlton Pearson's daughter, Majesty Pearson, who is a fabulous singer in her own right. And we even have Taylor Hanson from the group The Hansons on there, the 3-time Grammy-nominated group The Hansons.
Really?
So yeah, it's diverse. The project is diverse, and it speaks to the spirit. That's one of the things what I just love about it. I can't wait for the record to come out. So we have 4 singles that'll be out come this Friday. And the full digital album will be out hopefully at the end of July. We're crossing our fingers because we are working in conjunction with the opening of the Greenwood Rising Museum, which is the new $20 million museum right there in the Greenwood district. That's hopefully will be something that people from all over the country will come to learn the story and see this world-class presentation of our history, and to inspire next generations to go forward and create their own Black Wall Streets wherever they are.
Yes.
I love it. I think that's great. Ladies and gentlemen, blackwallstreetmusic.com. Please go support on all social media platforms. You can get more information. This is, again, I'm sensing an anthology here, so I'm glad I brought that up, and make sure I get credit for that. Make sure I get a half a penny for every song that's sung, because I said I feel anthology here. I really do, because it would just be so many beautiful and talented people that would want. Look, I can't even sing and want to add something to this, and I'm not even from Tulsa, but my heart goes out to everything that has happened there, and just how unfair it is. And Tulsa is just not alone. This has happened to our people all across the country when you really think about it.
Right.
In closing, gentlemen, what else do you want to say to us tonight?
I just want to say that the thing that made Black Wall Street flow, made it flow, and made it what it was barter and exchange. Spending money within the community, spending money within the Black businesses, supporting each other. So, we need for people to support us so that we can continue to bring, Christmas on Black Wall Street, like Thornell was saying, the women of Black Wall Street, Black Wall Street gospel. There's so many collectives we can come up with. And the artists here have brought into it. We all have the same spirit. We always want to see, reconciliation. We always want to see restoration, and we just want to see a better place for people, for our grandkids and generations to come. So support us, because our effort is valiant and it's worthy of its cause.
Yes, I couldn't agree more. Jones Jr., what do you want to add in closing?
Well, in closing, I always come to things from the music side of things. Sometimes I even think that I'm a little singular dimension. But in truth, I really think that music is the universal language. And I think that we can all learn from one another if we listen to our songs. And so this album is about that. It's listening to our spirit through the songs. So, yeah.
Very good. I just think it's incredible in many ways. Our good friend Allison is on, and she just said, what did Allison just say? She said she'll let me know. I'm sure she will, Allison. You stay on top of your job now. When the record drops, stay tuned. Yeah, we'll promote it heavily here on the show. We'll do whatever we can to get this project out. Kay Renee, closing thoughts for our guests.
Again, thank you both for your vision, and happy Father's Day to the two of you.
Thank you.
Yes, gentlemen. Happy Father's Day, as well as Men's Health Awareness Month. So make sure we're taking care of our health and doing the right things. And, we appreciate you guys so very much. Fred, when I come to Tulsa, I expect to have lunch, breakfast, or something with you, because I want to do a story on just Tulsa itself and come and experience everything. So I promise you, I'm going to have Allison reach out to you when I'm coming that way, okay?
You got you. We'll do it all on Black Wall Street, man.
Fred knows everywhere to eat. every time I get home to Miami, I get on my scale. I'm like, woo!
I know. I can't wait. I know barbecue, all of that. Look, you see, that's why.
Okay.
Oh, and see, Jones Jr., you in Miami. That's my new second home now. So I have to look you up down there.
You do.
Yes,
do.
South Beach is my new addiction now. So
okay.
Yes.
All right. We'll have to do a yacht outing.
Yeah, very good. I'm used to that. I am very
Oh.
much so. Yes, sir. Very good. Well, gentlemen, God bless you both. Thank you so much for doing this. It is so important that we commemorate our history, our legacy, our people, and
Yes.
really, as we said, music is all about healing, harmony, and peace. It helps us to tell our story. People love us for the way we tell our stories through song and dance and adaptation. And so we really do appreciate both of you guys. We really, really do. We do. So thank you so much. Have a beautiful evening. Ladies and gentlemen,
Thank you.
please do us a huge favor. Go over to the website Black Wall Street Music.com, blackwallstreetmusic.com. You can find out all the information you need to know there. Follow Black Wall Street Music on social media platforms. Outstanding job, Mr. Fred Jones and Mr. Thornell Jones Jr., Jones and Jones, no relation, but somehow we're all related. That's how we work it out on this show. God bless, gentlemen, and we'll talk to you again real soon, okay?
Thank
Thanks,
you.
Art.
Thank you.
Have a
Thank you.
great night. Thank you
Bye.
again. Big round of applause for Jones and Jones, Black Wall Street Music.com. Yay, very good. That was
Yay.
excellent.
Oh.
That was
Oh my
wonderful. Yes,
goodness.
please. All right. Well, Kay Renee, we got a little bit more to talk about, don't we, darling?
Yeah, because you sent me a video, and I take it this is a series. I didn't realize it till before we came on the air. I saw a commercial of this series of this mother daughter who apparently share everything, and I mean everything. And I saw the video. I was just like, okay, there's something not right with this picture. Now, Art, you've known me a very long time, and I don't think
Ye-
you had met my mom, but you know I was very close to my mother.
Yes.
And there are certain things that I wouldn't have done or said to my mother. Conversely, she would not do that to me.
Right.
Um, and I'm at a loss for words. It's rare that I'm speechless, but after seeing that video, I was speechless. And I said to you privately, I said I don't know. I said I know we got to talk about it tonight, but I don't know. I
Okay. So
don't know. But you go ahead and tell the story because I'm still in shock about
Okay,
this.
so you all, Kay Renee is actually telling this story very beautifully. But there's a mother and daughter duo, African American, that they
Yes.
are each other's best friend. They do everything together. And this
Yes.
mother and daughter gives each other bikini waxes together. So the
Yes.
daughter that came out of the mother now gives the mother a bikini wax, and the mother now gives the daughter a bikini wax. And then they share, they talk about their sex life and you know what they've done and review each other. It is weird, Kay Renee. And I know some amazing mother and daughter relationships. I know some
Mhm.
amazing father and daughter relationships, but
Mhm.
some things borderline on freak. Like really. And here's the deal, Kay Renee. I did not get to meet your beloved mother, but I know because of the way we are were raised and the way we talk on this show, we came from the same type of mothers.
That's
Our
right.
mothers may have told us to go wash something or go clean something, or something
Mhm.
might get a little funky and musty. But my mama is not finna go and clean me down there or groom me or okay. Yeah, weird is exact. Weird is very exact. So you know, you you tell me.
What really kind of shocked me was, the question was asked. The producer asked both of them, did the daughter share her stories with her dates, her relationships? And she said yes. And one of her past relationships thought they were crazy. And that's just the best word. Even though, the mother said, I gave birth to this child. I will do everything I can for her and be there. But see, here's the thing that she's not thinking about. We all come in this world, we're going to leave this world. And I hope, even though they have a to what we call a very strange relationship, if once one of them leaves this earth, how she's gonna survive then. That's what I thought about. I said, all of us had great relationships with our parents, right? But when
Right.
they leave here, and they're going to leave here, that's just the cycle of life. How is the mother going to react? How will the daughter react? So being that close, because from a spiritual standpoint, you choose your parents. My mother always told me that you choose your parents, and how you I just it just was not normal to me, and maybe I'm
No,
wrong for that.
no,
I just
no.
was like, okay,
Now we
not
we
for
have a
me.
behavior expert that's gonna come on with us. We have it's several things. I've reached out to somebody to let's talk about this whole etiquette thing and people in public
Mm-hmm.
nowadays.
Mm-hmm.
I've also reached out to somebody about just the weirdness of this because some relationships cross the line. And then when these people, like this young lady, goes to be in a relationship with a young man, and you and your mother have a relationship like that, it makes it weird. That's the same way women are always concerned about men and their relationships with their mothers. And
Mm-hmm.
so it just, oh, absolutely. It plays. I was in a relationship with somebody who their mother was whatever she said. I don't care how right I was, whatever the case may be. This person always took what their mother said. And I'm like, I live with you. I know what you're doing. But your mother, right. So it's weird. We'll talk about it. We'll definitely have to cover it. We will talk about it. All right. Well, yeah, that was weird. Coming up on tomorrow night's show, Madam K. Renee will have the evening off, and tomorrow night sitting in with us is Mr. Chris Bass, Mr. Boom Shakalaka. He just became a grandfather over the weekend. And in honor of
Yay!
Father's Day, we're going to talk about him being a grandpa for the first time, or glampa. Let him tell it, because he does not fit grandpa yet.
No,
And
he
so
doesn't.
also tomorrow night, we're going to talk about the fact that Juneteenth is this coming Saturday. And with that being said, hey, Atlanta, Georgia, Chat Daddy will be spending Saturday, Juneteenth, in your fair city. I'll be there for
Yay!
all of the sights and sounds of Juneteenth in Atlanta. So wait, Kevin, we got to slide over in the box like
Uh-oh.
we do. All right,
There
so
we go.
listen, Atlanta. Wait, let me move this banner out the way. Look, I got to figure out how to do all this so people can read everything. So I'll be celebrating Juneteenth in Atlanta this coming Saturday. I'll be going from event to event. I'll be speaking at one of the particular events, but I'll be in Atlanta this coming Saturday for Juneteenth. So I'll be doing some live broadcasts, stopping at some places, all those great things. So Atlanta, I'm coming to you on Saturday. I'm looking forward to that. Yes, very good. And then Kay Renee, last night we revealed something really interesting at the chat last night. And I'm
Yeah.
trying to figure out, should we reveal it to the audience tonight or should we wait a little bit? What do you think?
It's on you, chat. I already know. So, I don't know the best kept secret. You want to keep it secret? Or, that some of our viewers who came to the chat, they already
They
know.
know, they
So,
know, they know. All right. Well,
so
we'll do a little sneak peek. We'll let it out tonight, but we're going to
okay.
hold it very close to us. So,
Yes.
can we do a drum roll? So, ladies and gentlemen, the Real Chat Daddy Show, starring yours truly and the fabulous Miss K. Renee, we will be broadcasting live from, here we go, Hawaii. Yes, we'll be
Woohoo!
broadcasting live from Hawaii, July 12th through the 14th. I'll be showing you all of the adventures, the sights and sounds of Hawaii. Miss K. Renee won't be on the trip, but she'll be a part of the broadcast. I know, but we gonna hook you up, baby. We gonna make sure you are in Hawaii with us mentally, and we got a lot in store. But we will be broadcasting the Real Chat Daddy Show live from Hawaii, June 12th
Yay.
through the 14th. Yay! 7
Yay.
p.m. Central Time, 8 p.m. Eastern Time, 5 p.m. Pacific, and who knows whatever the hell time it'll be. See, at least your time don't change. Right, at least with me, child, I'd be like, oh my God, what time is it? What time is it? So yes, please put it on your calendar. The Real Chat Daddy Show will be broadcasting live from Hawaii. Yes,
Hawaii.
July 12th through the 14th. I know.
Oh my
Isn't that
goodness.
amazing?
The last time I was in Hawaii, it was when a certain president was being sworn in. I was
Uh-huh.
there for a full month
Okay.
working, and I was so angry because I had tickets to go to that certain event. And my
Okay.
late father, bless his heart, he was like, "Look, you about to get paid free. You go down there, you go into his home state, and it's January. It's gonna be
Right.
warm down there. You better
Right.
go on down there."
Right.
Like,
Right.
aloha. That's
Aloha,
right,
aloha,
Candace.
aloha, yes, aloha, yes. So
So,
yes, Scooby Dooby Doo and Poopy Doopy Doo and all of that. Yes, amen. Yes, aloha. So yes, you know the beauty of Hawaii. You know just the
yes.
magic, the tranquility. It's been
Oh,
some time since I've been there,
oh
and I'm
yes.
very excited. And then to be able to have the privilege of being able to broadcast this show from
Oh
Hawaii
yes.
is just the cherry on top of everything. So yes, very
Amen.
appreciative. Absolutely. All right.
Yes.
Well, our good friend Miss Wamelda, we appreciate you so much, Miss
Yes,
Wamelda. Thank
Lamelda.
you. Our guests were great tonight. Mr.
Yes.
Errol Rick Cornett, we appreciate you for being here tonight
Thank
with
you,
us,
Mr.
sir.
Rick.
Allison Perkins Thomas, we love you.
Thank you,
Allison,
Miss
that's my girl. She gives me
Allison.
the best interviews ever. Is that Brother Shelton Smith? It is Brother Shelton Smith. We appreciate you so much. Ed Long, we appreciate you as well. Mario, hey Mario Coombs. Oh, he said, can we discuss the pop-up strip club? That's what it's like at Walmart nowadays in places.
Okay.
It's sad. Hey Genia, we appreciate you so much. We really do. Who else do? Oh, Candace. It was good to see Candace last night.
Yes, it
Tiffany, thank
was.
you. Tamlin, we appreciate you. Watika, Renee, Takana, we missed you yesterday, Takana, but we know you were busy. Pastor Jim Allen, we appreciate you. Shanita, all of you guys. It's been just a great show tonight. Kay
Yes.
Renee, enjoy your evening off tomorrow night. Anything else
I
you want to say to the audience before we get out of here tonight?
Well, I gotta do my nuggets, right? But this is a
Oh,
good
wait, no,
nugget.
honey, that's right. I forgot. It's a nugget.
Got do. It's a
Yeah, yeah,
nugget.
do the nugget, darling.
Then
Nugget
we're gonna
up.
do some. This is how I'm giving you guys some tips, some nuggets on how to really achieve your goals. Ready? Here are 9 nuggets. 1, make sure your goals are specific. 2, make sure your goals are measurable. 3, identify the obstacles and think of the solutions before kickstarting. 4, have a strategic plan. 5, break it down into small bites. 6, review your progress regularly and make tunings accordingly. 7, mark down every tiny achievement along the way. 8, share your goals with someone else. It'll help you stick to it, but share them with someone that you trust. And then 9, always prepare an alternate plan.
Oh, I
And
love
that's,
it. I love it. Every one of those
yes,
were amazing.
yes.
Yes, absolutely. Like it's really like a reality checklist that you gave us.
Those are those nuggets.
For more information on those nuggets, please go to Karen'sNuggetsOfKnowledge.com. Karen'sNuggetsOfKnowledge.com. Karen, I almost want to put some hot sauce on them nuggets. You know what I'm saying?
you,
Right.
you,
I just
you can
I
do
feel like I could put some hot sauce on them nuggets. You know,
that.
just
Hey,
sprinkle a little of this, sprinkle a little of that.
and given the stories that we share, I may have to come up with some spicy nuggets for folks.
Right. You know, I like it spicy, babe. I
I know
like it
you
spicy.
do.
I do. I
I
like
know
it
you
spicy.
do.
I can't wait till you get back in the seat Wednesday night because I'm sure it'll be tons more foolishness that have gone on since we, since you not being here tomorrow night. But that's all right. Tune in. You can see me and Brother Bass talk about some foolishness too.
Absolutely.
All right, you guys. Well, it's been a great show. We appreciate you guys so very much. On behalf of the wonderful Miss Kay Renee of Karen'sNuggetsOfKnowledge.com, make sure you guys go over to her website and check her out there. When you get a moment, please go to therealchatdaddy.com. That's my website. I need to go and update some things on my website and do some other things. I know, child. I don't have enough time in the day. Oh my God!
I know, but we gotta make it happen.
Oh, I need an assistant now, you guys. I really, really do. We'll have to talk about that. I have to look for me a virtual assistant real soon. TheRealChatDaddy.com is where you need to go to find out more information. If you've not subscribed to the Real Chat Daddy or the Real Chat Daddy Show, which is what this show is, please go to YouTube, Facebook, subscribe to the Real Chat Daddy Show. It would help the show tremendously. We'd appreciate that. Other than that, I want you guys to have a beautiful night. Stay safe. The weather is not going to be scorching hot in Chicago this week, which is perfect. It'll be a perfect time for you guys to get out and do what you need to do. Don't forget that Juneteenth is this coming Saturday, and Father's Day is this coming Sunday. Yes, and I got a two-part in Atlanta. I'll have to talk about the second part after I get back. But yes, absolutely. Saturday is to celebrate Juneteenth, and then Sunday is to commemorate my dad. So we'll talk about all of that. Absolutely. Yes. Okay. All right. Well, thank you guys so much for being here with us this evening. We love and appreciate you guys for spending time with us. You don't have to do this. For encore performances of the show, you can always go to Facebook and YouTube, therealchatdaddyshow.com to watch any shows that you've missed. I had somebody tell me yesterday, she said, well, I watch your Wednesday shows on Friday when I'm on my way to work. And I watch and I said, all right, that's what, and I tell people it's not about how many people watch it live. It's how many people go back and watch this show, period. And we appreciate you guys. We thank you from the bottom of our hearts. This cannot, who knew that a pandemic show would turn into what it's turning into, but we really do appreciate it. All right. Amen. So we want to remind you guys also that June is Men's Health Awareness Month. Please, 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 gentlemen, schedule your appointments. Go see your doctors. Make sure you okay from the rudder to the tutter. Ain't that what we say on this show? From the rudder to the tutter. Right. This the rudder, and them toes is the tutters. So make sure you get your rudders and tutters checked. All right.
Amen.
All right, darling. Well, have a great night. Thank you guys so very much. Be well, everybody. God bless. And we'll see you tomorrow. We'll see Kay Renee on Wednesday night. Have a great night, everybody. Bye. Oh, I got to start the countdown. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome.